I'm going back to the Kemper. So if you've been following this channel, pre all the stories that I did, I was doing a lot of demos of the, more recent, smaller modelers and affordable modelers. Now, for years before that, when I got off the road with Colt Ford, I bought a Kemper. And I've been threatening to buy a Kemper when I was out on the road because, man, maintaining, 2 or 3 amp heads and, lifting those huge, amp cover, the casing my gear and all that, it just got to a point where I'm like, is it diminishing returns having these tube amps out here on the road? So when I got home and I got off the road, I took a little bit of money and I bought, the Kemper Profiler amplifier, the toaster oven, toaster looking thing that you put on your desktop. And it looks like an old radio from the 40s or something. And I used that, over and over again. I did this album right here, Bad Brad, Into the Ether. I did that album all with the Kemper. And I used it for Stone Padre, that album. And I used it subsequently, through all the stuff, the Eric Blue Midnight Glow album. And I just used it at home. It was awesome, right? But, getting on YouTube kind of set me down the rabbit hole of, using these different modelers and stuff. And, I've got my videos on here. I use the UAFX Lion, the Tonex. I've done my Tonex videos and Tonex One. And it was the profiles on the Tonex that made me ditch the Kemper. I said, I like these. To me, these sound a little bit better to my ears than what I'm getting out of the Kemper. And, sometimes that could have been ear fatigue. I don't know. Or, hey, different profiles are different profiles. That's just, that is part of it. So, last night I was, clicking around on Sweetwater and, the thing about Tonex, the Tonex, the user interface for that is just terrible. And I blasted them. I did a whole video blasting about how, when I've got something in the pedal, trying to adjust, then going into the online, user interface on the computer. It's like you can't adjust what's on the pedal from the user interface. Yeah, I can use the app and then put it onto the pedal, but usually once I have something on the pedal, then in the final stages, I'm wanting to, adjust things. And it just seemed to me like a big PIA, pain in the butt, right? So the Tonex kind of went by the way, even though I had decided I was going to do Tonex, and I ran Tonex into HX effects, and that served me for a little while. But I also adjusting the gate on the Tonex, that's something I need to be able to do. I need to be able to adjust what's on the pedal and adjust it, through the computer interface. But, I wasn't able to do that. So, last night I was clicking around on Sweetwater and I'm looking at the modelers, and, I felt like it was the story of the Three Little Bears. oh, this is a nice thing, but it's too big. And then, oh, this is, I don't feel there's a perfect solution out there. Now, I have the HX Stomp, but I've never really used the amps and stuff out of that. Now, I might be completely missing the boat, and I do like their user interface because I have used it from time to time. But that's the HX Stomp. HX Stomp is on my main pedal board. And, maybe I need to give that a shot. But I was clicking around on Sweetwater and looking at what's available. I've been, using the Pod Express. That's what I've been using as my daily driver. But it's very limited. It sounds good and it's easy to use. And I got some killer tones out of it. But it's like I'm going back now to the Kemper, but and after clicking around, I had the Fender Tonemaster Pro. I had that in my cart. The Quad Cortex, I've been hearing all the complaints about that and people complaining about there's no updates and this and that. And I know it's a solid unit, but I just don't see the amount of effort from the company in updating that. So that's why I put the Fender Tonemaster Pro in my cart on Sweetwater. And it's sitting there and I'm just waiting. I mean, look, it's $16.99 and it's this big, heavy, bulky thing. And I'm like, this is gonna take up, because I want a desktop modeler. But I'm like, this is gonna take up, a huge part of my desk, just sitting there. And there's mixed opinions on it. And I haven't tried it myself, so I don't know. But it almost seems like overkill. And I know some people like to be able to get in and all those parameters and move that mic around and do all that stuff. But man, when the day is done, I just want to get a couple good tones and play and be done with it. So, I was clicking around and then, I thought, well, the Kemper Profiler Player, it's got, it's almost like the Pod Express, except it's got the user interface. It's got, all the effects and adjustments that you can make. It's got thousands of amps because you go online and I sold my Kemper right before they did the Liquid Fire update. So here I am now. I clicked buy because at $698, that is a price point where I go, okay, this is a pro unit. I know Kemper makes quality stuff. And at $698, I go, I can take a chance on this. I can give Kemper another try. So after all of, after sitting there with that Tonemaster Pro, and I just couldn't pull the plug on it. I just couldn't do it. That price is $16.99. I just thought, it's overkill. The Quad Cortex is overkill. It's the same price, but even less features than I think the Tonemaster Pro. And the Helix, it just feels like, that's. I like the concept of not necessarily modeling, but profiles. I like having profiles of certain amps and, the professional profiles that are out there, Michael Britt and all that stuff. And so I'm going back after all this time. It's been probably about a year or a year and a half since I sold my Kemper. And with the Profiler Player, which is, a lower price point, a little bit less features, but I'm going back to the Kemper. So the video that you're going to hear at the beginning of this video, that is the Line 6 Pod Express. And that has been my daily driver. But, I think I'm going to have to give the Kemper another try with the Profiler Player. So it's on its way. It should be here Thursday. And I'm sure once I get it, I'll have to do a little demo of the thing. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. And I'll see you on the next video.